Hey, collective, y'all get in here. So, before I get started, I'm going to let you know that your ancestors, your spirit guides, and your loved ones are in the room. You know, I heard your ancestors say this morning so loudly that we have to get rid of those old coping methods. You know, those old coping skills where everyone has to figure out a way to, we got to get rid of those old coping methods. See, in the old days, women would turn a blind eye to men touching on their children because they were the breadwinner. You know, they held the finances, and they rather let that child be damaged and traumatized than to lose that household income that was provided by that male. And this is coming up really deep, and I'm gonna take a minute. Give me a minute. All right, my cat done ran in the street, and I know I was on coping. You know, coping methods. You know, I feel like people have always found a way to, you know, I feel like we still live in a struggle, a constant struggle of character, definition, what we will allow and what we won't allow, what we shouldn't be allowing at all. But the things that we'll allow our kids, our children to go through, also, believe me, those children, your parents, went through it too. So they're saying that we have to remove it. You know, we have to take the blinders off. We have to remove the veil. We have to unlock those skeletons in that closet. We have to release the stories. We have to tell it, you know, because this is not just about, you know, we got to tell how the trail works, how it all begins, how all this mental illness continues on down this family line, because nobody wants to break generational curses, because nobody wants to, you know, release them skeletons from the closet. Nobody wants to talk about, you know, why this was such a trend. Why did it keep happening over and over again? And why did some of you guys find it to be so normal and then allow it to continue to happen again and again and again? But I'm hearing, you know, that there's some people out there that truly were cursed, that really were cursed. You know, your families had curse placed up on them. So these things that kept happening and these cycles that kept repeating each other, and I mean really bad cycles, baby, really bad cycles, and for a lack thereof, something flew in my, hold on, dude, I might have swallowed a bug. I'm not gonna play with y'all out here in this area. Somebody do not want this message out when I tell you that it is time to confront the demon in the room, because baby, ain't no elephant doing this to us. It's time to confront the demon in the room. It's time to really sit down and have these conversations, is what they're telling me. Because we got to put this thing to rest. We got to stop accepting it. It's time to put this to rest. It's time to stop acting like these things didn't happen, like these things didn't exist. How'd you get up here, Oracle? Like, you gotta quit. We gotta quit going around people who's just accepting it like they can't see nothing. We gotta quit turning a blind eye to what's clearly there. It's time to cut these people out of our lives. All right, I'm gonna get into the message. But Oracle, why is you messing with stuff, man? Girl, go play with your brother. You got a whole brother over there to play with. Leave my cards alone. Yeah. So I'm hearing, you know, somebody might have went to prison, you know, because somebody finally spoke up. Somebody had to go to prison because somebody finally spoke up about this thing that nobody wanted to speak on. And I'm hearing so many different versions of this. This could have been a brother, a stepdad, a father, a mother, a sister, a cousin. It's so many different forms that I've seen in my dreams, in these visions. Like I said, we got to stop it. It's time to teach our boys to be men, and that running down women and hurting women, or even, you know, vice versa. You can't do that. You do not do things to people that you do not want done to you or your sons or your daughters, Because if you look at it that way, you would see it in a different light. Y'all have to take the blinders off. What you don't want done to you, you shouldn't want to do to nobody the fuck else. That's how this reading is going. And I haven't even really gotten into the cards because I'm overwhelmed. Because, you know, I grew up. I grew up in this type of environment where it was justifiable. Like, these men were allowed to be who they were and predatory towards the women in my family because nobody wanted to say nothing. Nobody wanted them to go because they had good jobs, but they weren't good people. You know what I'm saying? They would rather see you traumatized, hurt, and messed up for life. Why you knock that down, Jasper? And messed up for life than to carry the weight on their own. You know, these women out here are sacrificing their kids for some man that ain't got shit but a job. Meanwhile, you wondering why your kids are growing up and they can't look at you, they can't talk to you because, baby, you sacrificed them. You sacrificed your kids for money that from a man who was being abusive probably to you, and much more. And I heavily felt that message. You know, I just feel like a different time is coming. That's why this message is going out. We got to stop it. You know, it's time to end. It's got to end there. We can't keep allowing these things to happen. We can't keep allowing our kids to suffer in silence. We can't keep allowing our kids to not be able to have a voice. They can't even communicate because they don't know what's wrong. They don't know what they did wrong. They didn't know about the challenges you were facing. You know, it's as simple as that. And that's why I try to teach these young girls, stop having baby after baby after baby. That's not keeping that man there. And if you doing that to keep a man there, that means willing somewhere down the line, you're going to go back in time and sacrifice some kids for that man, and you shouldn't be doing that. Or vice versa. Because men get molested too. I'm hearing someone recently had to, you know, break it off. A marriage ended because somebody finally faced some truths. They finally had to see the thing that they didn't want to see. They had to see the thing that they didn't want to see. They had to open their eyes to what was happening in their home. It's either that or your kids woke you up to this. And it was very challenging. And maybe they challenge your mental illness. Maybe they challenge your capacity. Maybe they challenge your ability to really understand. And maybe they educated you on some things as they were leaving out. And maybe somebody truly had to pass away for you to really understand that this thing was happening while you were in denial. However this message is coming through, I feel like there's going to be a lot of people giving this person, whoever this person is, that finally spoke up about that uncle, about that brother, about that cousin, about that dad, about that stepdad, about that stepmother, about that foster home. There's a spider crawling on the screen. My cats are knocking down all the cards. When I tell you they don't want this message out, I feel like it's going to be a lot of people looking at this collective crazy because, baby, you did what they couldn't. You did what they couldn't and wouldn't do because they were okay with carrying out a legacy that should have been broken. Like, why would you carry out a cursed legacy? Why would you continue to allow your family to go through this? And then there are some women and some men out there that be like, it happened to me, so it should happen to them. Y'all need to go. Y'all need to go. You need to go on back over there to the other side, to your light body, because that mindset is what the problem is right here today. All right, let me get into this reading. I just feel like it's so much going on with this reading, and I feel like I need to speak to whoever you are. I'm speaking to the victim, because the victim is not a victim no more. The victim has rised up. The victim has came out of her shell, his shell. A victim has turned ways, changed the narrative, broke the family curse, cut you people off because you still ain't changed. That's who I'm talking to. But I also know that the victim had to go through trials and tribulations. The victim had to go through a divorce. The victim had to go through some of the things and challenges that was set amongst that person. But this person had been stuck in bondage for years and silenced about what was happening because the grown adults around that person told that person not to tell. Who does that? And now this person has, whew, when I say this person killed that noise in her or his head, and they transitioned into a whole new person. They had to, fight them demons off of them, fight them battles. They finally had to speak up about all the things that truly happened to them in life. They had to face themselves in the mirror, and they finally, whoever you are, collective, you realize it wasn't about you. It wasn't your fault. You could never. But you also had to have your own kids and experience some of the things that you didn't think could ever happen to you either. So you was able to see both sides of the street. But you also said, I'd rather not sacrifice my kids to have a man. In some parts you did. I'm hearing some of you guys did get into relationships with people who carried some of those bad symptoms. Your partner was a domestic abuser and you stayed too long. That traumatized your kids. They might have not been touched physically any other way, but that traumatized your kids. So some of you guys went from having really bad experiences from childhood into adulthood because you had to have that shoe on the other foot experience, is what I'm hearing from, Spirit. Go ahead. You had to go through those trials and tribulations of your own so that you are not throwing rocks at a window that you couldn't see from. So it wasn't just that those older ways were intentional. Some of them was just that it was. So some of you had to stay in relationships also because it was financially binding, or you were just that in love and you were blinded. But at the end of the day, whoever I'm speaking to now, you transition. When I say you're a superstar, you broke all those generational curses. You broke it. You did what they couldn't do. You left that bad marriage. You left that bad man. You left that bad situation. You healed your childhood trauma. It says, like a phoenix rising, a phoenix of rebirth. From its own end, it rises to begin again. And that's what you did. And although you are so in your lane right now, and people trust you because you're a trusted source, you finally met your person. You got that good man. You got that trustworthy man. You got that, I won't say perfect marriage because I don't know that people need you to have perfect anything, but it's perfect for you. It's perfect for you because it's by design. Whoever you are carrying your personal power with confidence. You come a long way, collective. And what's going on right now is that you're definitely finding your grounding now. You're finally finding your footing. You're finally finding your alignment. 212, as I say that, you're finally seeing everything for what it is. And yeah, you fix your childhood traumas and you working with your babies. I'm hearing you're working with your babies to even get them, the help that they may need, because everybody's experience is different. You finally got your mature man, your mature feminine masculine man. Or your mature wife, collective. Whoever you are, this marriage, this union that you have is perfect for you. Because this person and you see eye to eye. You see, you're on the same wavelength. This person is only sitting here to make sure that you are taken care of. They're willing to do any and everything for you because they know that you had a bad situation. They know that you've been through a lot of things, and they know that you don't have the time or the tolerance to put up with nothing. You ain't got no time or patience to put up with nothing else. So basically, they're at your service. He is at your service because he see the light in you. He see the change in you, and he see, you know, how people envy you and how they jealous of you, and he see all this stuff, and he, you know, but what is it about Collective? Well, Collective had to heal a lot of things that were so unfortunately, you know, you had to show people exactly what it is to be in a stinky situation and not have anybody, you know, have your back or tell the truth, or however they're saying that. People were turning a blind eye to your pain and your experiences, and they were acting as if it never happened, is what Spirit said. They were acting as if it never happened. People took things to their graves. They tend to forget that there was a person in your life, and there was people who should have been imprisoned because of what they did to you. But instead, they put you in a prison. They put you in a bad state of mind, in a bad headspace. But you came out of this you came up out of there like a tornado. They said you spent out on them. You didn't go back out and return the favor. You didn't go and become these people. You did not turn into these people. You refused to turn into these people. And that's why things that have been manifested for you through spirit, through your spiritual guidance, through the most highest God, is coming in for you. They are coming for you. You are getting this inheritance, spiritual inheritance, because you deserve it, because you broke those generational curses. You refused to let it continue on, and you cut off those people, and you said, I'm not going to allow this dysfunction in my life or in my children's lives anymore. Now, who's to say, you know, people are going to speak their thing. They're going to speak on you. But baby, you had to face many different parts of you. You had to discover every part of you. So yeah, you address the darkness. You address where it came from. You address those evil thoughts and where they come from. But however, you faced yourself in the mirror. And trust me when I say this, they know they can't come play in your face about you, because there's nothing that you can't speak about. There's nothing that you won't speak about. And you know exactly what you've done in this lifetime and what you haven't done. But the one thing about you, trust, you're going to speak the truth. No matter how dark, no matter how hurtful, no matter how sad. That's who you are, Collective. And like I said, there were so many people out there making sure, wanting to silence you and break you and keep you silent, because they didn't want to feel this embarrassment. They didn't care about your pain. They only cared about what they look like in this, you know, in front of other people. They like putting up fronts and stunts and doing all this extra stupid stuff. These people are still speaking your name today. And they are really the reason why your currency is coming in like a windfall. Like this money is coming in like a windfall. This is coming in again. And I don't know why they want me to keep saying windfall, but I guess if we're going to say times 3 then. Times 3. Because, baby, that number 33 and that 11 just keeps coming up in everybody's reading. And I've seen it. But it's coming for a reason. Because, baby, you are a star seed. You are definitely the chosen one. Most High has chosen you because he's ready to see you sit on your throne. He's ready to see you sit on your throne because you had the courage to go through some things that no one should have had to experience. But because we chose this life, it didn't choose us. It was an experience of endurance, and you endured through, and you still came out on the other side into the light, because you could have chose to go the opposite direction, and you did not. And that's why the power shifts are happening for you right now, because you let that outside noise, you quieted in your stillness. You cried alone. You fought some battles. And these people, they're still going to deal, no matter what's going on, that's who they're going to be for you. They still going to be upset because it's you. All right. I do want, there's a grandma coming through from the other side. And you lost a few grandmas. I'm hearing a great grandma, great grandma. Good Lord. And okay, yeah, you got, these are blessings coming in from your your grandmas. There's too many greats in there right now. Right? There's some series of grandmas around me right now. Lady. Ooh, one is a goddamn, hold on, shoot. You're a little pushy. Hello, spirit. I got a brother coming through. The number 22 could be significant. Come on, man. Don't go on the street while I'm doing these readings. Yes, I'm... Baby, your grandma might be for the streets the way she hit my arm. That's what you get, scared cat. This money is coming in because these grandmas, I feel like, are sitting on a board, a meeting with you. They're talking to source directly. They're saying, trust that this money is for you. Trust that this is being heavily directed to you. And it's coming in from the other side. What did I do with the cards? Somebody might have recently put flowers on their grandmother's grandma's grave. This then blew off. Hold on. They're blowing stuff at me. A woodpecker could be significant. Oh my gosh. Roses could be significant. Pine trees could be significant. Most recently, somebody could have passed most recently, a grandma from the other side. Why is they pointing at this woodpecker? Oh, something here. Could have been Indian related. Indian, somebody could be Indian. Because of your persistence, because you kept going even after things were truly too hard, like things got really bad for you at some point. And yep, it's gifted directly from your grandmas. And I mean, there were some greats, and they all kind of still standing around here tearing my arm up. But let me just say this: whoever you are, you deserve this. Don't ever doubt the message. Oh, there's all about you. You know, I feel like whoever you was, you were really a grandma's baby. You was the, and they was you. You've always been about family. You love the good and the bad parts of your family, but they know now that, you know, you have to. They're saying, you know, you have to focus and concentrate now on your own family. You know, to get them healed. Oh God. Okay. I mean, the wildest stuff be happening when I be trying to get these messages out. Whoever you are, collective, I promise you, your life is about to get greater. Your life is about to get greater, and it's just, this money is going to change your life, and for the better. And obviously, whoever you are, again, I'm hearing you're very deserving of this, and it's due time, or time due. I don't know what they saying in my ear, but they saying a lot. And baby, whoever this is, I'm shaking right now. Your grandma could have been named Rosie or Rose, something with those roses. And we got Pearl, we got Maddie. Oh my God. Anyway, let me shake another card down. There's some names coming through. They want you to really focus on self-love and pour a lot of this money into you. Go get exactly what it is that you dreamed of, anything that you thought of as a kid. They want you to do the things that you thought of as a kid. They want you to live your life like you did when you were a kid. They just felt like that's your they want you to do some childish stuff because you had a very rough life, and people might have seen you as being mentally unstable, but truth is you might have been raised by a mentally unstable parent, and they want to see you successful. They want to see you happy. Or some grandma is saying they see you looking good and sexy and being successful at all this stuff, and they just ready for you to have everything. They're ready. You've achieved this goal. I'm a 25. Shut up. I'm going to stop it here, collective. I return your energy to you. I love you, because if one thing go in my mouth, fall out the tree, if this cat knock one more thing down, the wind blow one more thing, I don't know, but it's a windfall of money coming in for you, collective. I hope it find you very safe, healthy, and just be ready. Be ready to do some real wild shit. This is what I'm hearing. Enjoy your life. Take them vacations. Get them babies out of that state. Move is what I'm hearing. All right. I love y'all. Thank you. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Yeah, Pearl is coming through again. Pearl, big Pearl. Go ahead. Big Pearl, I'm not going to play with you. It's good. You got a very sassy grandmother. I love y'all. Love you. Bye.
Hit that bass line nice and slow. Ooh, yeah. Talk box singing, let the rhythm flow.